It is Matty NASCAR with the Chase for Checkers, and this is the post-race takes show coming at you in the morning because it was a later race. Not real late, but nonetheless, I have today off, so I decided I was just going to make it this morning. But the Hoosier gets it done. You know, it was my guy, Chase Briscoe. So excited for him to finally get his first win this year. Really good race. Glad to see him back. Sorry for everybody who had the problems trying to find parking. That definitely sucks. I am glad that I did not have to deal with that because I was pretty close to going myself. But real quick, let's talk about a couple things that I had written down here that just kind of quick thoughts that I had, some takes that I had on this race. Not a whole lot, but nonetheless, let's jump into it. First things first, the parking, that sucks. Very sorry for everybody who had to deal with that. But for a race that it was brought back for the first time in a long time, there was some doubt leading into it on the ticket sales and how well it was doing. To be sold out, I think it's what they said, it's the 6th out of like the last 7 races that have been sold out. So that is awesome to see. Great job to all the fans who went and supported. Love to see that. Again, the parking is a nightmare, and hopefully that if they go back, they right that wrong, get it fixed, because that can't happen. But starting the race, there's a green flag, and then Zillich wrecks. Dude, I mean, just the season from hell for Zillich. Hate that for him. I mean, it's a good thing that Darrell Waltrip isn't calling races anymore, because I don't think he'd be able to get out the third boogity before Connor Zillich wrecks in some of these races, dude. It's insane. Like, I know if there is a wreck early, I already know who it's going to be. I don't even have to watch. I can tell you who the first caution is going to be, especially if it's an early one. I had mentioned, I haven't seen it yet, but I'd love to see the laps that Zillich has ran compared to like how many laps there has been total, and see how much of a difference there might be there. I also saw a stat that was floating around. I think Zillich has finished last in I think he had like a streak of like 3 or 4 races in a row, which is just, a lot of it's not his fault. So just hate that for the young man. That is got to be tough. The Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar. Yikes, Zane. Dude, you got to know, if you're going to wreck somebody, you got to wreck them and not yourself. That's like rule number 1. Kind of out of nowhere. I don't really know where that would have came from. I'm sure somebody can tell me in the comments. I'm blanking right now. Haven't had any coffee or anything this morning, so I'm already messing up names and I'm struggling. So I do apologize, but yeah, that's a bad look. You can tell it on like with Dale Jr. Like, I like Zane, but don't like that bonehead move he did, and kind of the same. Like, I'm not, huge necessarily for Carson or Zane, but that was just kind of like, okay, what are we doing, Zane Smith? So, it'll be interesting to see if something comes out of that. The SVG Austin Hill incident, SVG knows how to wreck somebody, and he did that. And then Austin Hill later saw him try to retaliate, or he did retaliate under caution. Hey, can't do that either. So, be interesting to see as well what comes out of that. Is there going to be penalties on either side? The radio for both was pretty funny. Austin Hill talking about how screwing up his name, which is that is a very country white boy thing to do. If somebody's got a weird name, you got to mess it up on purpose. You just have to. So don't get mad at him. It's a rule. If you're a white country boy, you got to mess up the different country name if you're mad at him. But yeah, man, Austin Hill, that's somebody who I wouldn't want to mess with just because he just makes some bonehead moves. But SVG, I mean, he clearly is get out of the way. That's what he's saying. So, and then SVG's comments where he said he would try to talk to him, but Austin Hill just grunts. That's also very funny. So yeah, some fun kind of coming out of there. The 45 team. You gotta stop shooting yourself in the foot. That's just yikes, man. Bleeding points. I mean, you got points bleeding like the fluid from your radiator, right? So that Denny Hamlin's ran so good. I mean, this was the first race we saw Denny not have that like crazy speed that he's had at these types of tracks. Kind of blew it wide open between Tyler Reddick and his issues, and Denny Hamlin just not being as good as he was or has been at these tracks. But yeah, 45 team has got to clean it up if they really want to go into the chase feeling good, feeling confident. I would be very worried if I'm a Tyler Reddick fan right now, just because that confidence is going to take a hit, and they're just kind of going the wrong way right now. Talking about going the wrong way, RFK, dude, Chris Buescher qualified very well. Brad Keselowski qualified very well. I had high hopes for both of them. Really, all three of them. I thought Priest would do well too, but he was in that Connor Zilic wreck at the first turn of the race. But I mean, Chris Buescher was up there consistently. Then he had a pit problem, and then just was gone for the rest of the race. Brad Keselowski early on, I want to say it was the first or second restart, had some trouble, and then he was just out to lunch. Never saw him or heard from him again. They were beating the Penske guys. I mean, they were top tier mile-and-a-half track team, and they're just not now. And I don't know what it is. I mean, Chris Buescher is still pretty consistent, but even he's been off. At the road course last week, he was nowhere to be seen again. So just kind of a head scratcher. Wonder what's going on over there. You would think that, I don't know what would have changed to make them all of a sudden just lose it. You would think more so it's, what happened with Penske was they just keep grinding and finding speed, but losing it the RFK guys just makes me worried. Makes me wonder what's going on over there. William Byron won stage 1, stage 2. Definitely made me worried about my hot take that he isn't going to win a race this year that I had way early before the start of the season, due to him being cursed because he won the regular season championship last year, and as we all know, that means you're cursed and you won't win a race the following year. Put up a good fight, but William Byron still not clutch. We see it a bunch. I mean, you think back to when the Coke 600 2 years ago now, led all those laps just to lose. He's had a handful of these races now where he is the dominant guy, leads the most laps, stages, doesn't get it done. But silver lining is Hendrick definitely looked like Hendrick this week. Byron obviously was very good. Bowman had a really great showing. Elliott and Larson both pretty good. Larson was going to be up there and I think going to be a contender before he stepped on himself. Spun out, got stuck in the grass, and then had issues for the rest of the race with just having speed. So that is a bit of the silver lining, but Byron still not clutch. I just don't know why he can't ever finish those races, and I think that's something that you kind of have to worry about. If you're a Byron fan, you almost don't want him to dominate a race because it's very likely that he will not win said race. All that being said, I think we can all agree, though, Chicagoland deserves to be on the schedule. It was a good race. It was just a really, really good race. You had the drama of, green flag pit stops. You had the drama of some different cautions and wrecks, and you saw people trying to do payback, and you saw some drama with rivalries starting and some things like that with SVG and Austin Hill and Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar. It was very racy. You saw a lot of moving around and trying to find lanes and speed. So yeah, I think it needs to be on the schedule. I think a lot of people agree. The fans obviously showed up and showed out, and that was very apparent. And a lot of people were also singing praises on TV and on media, the racers and whatnot. So hopefully we can see it on the schedule again as a mainstay. But if not, thank you for delivering Chicagoland. And yeah. But I'm Matty NASCAR. This was a post-race take show. I appreciate you kind of stumbling along with me. It took me a while to get firing because, like I said, it is. I did just wake up maybe 30 minutes ago. But I wanted to get this out as soon as I could before the day gets going, because I know I usually try to put them out right after the race. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you don't. And then I will see you next Thursday for our preview and who we're going to have for Atlanta at Echo Park. That'll be a fun one. It'll be a madhouse, though. So we'll see you back then. Have a good day. Sorry, brain froze again. I need coffee.